Let's talk about this more now with Ahmed Bayram, who is a Middle East spokesperson at the Norwegian Refugee Council. Now, we just tried to give viewers an idea there of just why this organization has been so controversial in Gaza. But just give us your perspective of why it's been so problematic, and this was something that aid organizations like yours had mentioned before they went in there.
It's because it has turned out to be exactly what we thought it was going to be. It was going to be a distraction, a chaotic one, a deadly one, a violent distraction, and we see that happening every day. Every box of food that you, as a Palestinian, have to go and try to get, it could probably mean the end, your last day, or the end of your life. Literally, that's what's happening. 600 people have been killed around those so-called distribution sites. Of course, not all of them are around GHF sites, but all of them are around aid distribution sites, which means that aid giving, aid providing, is now becoming, or actually aid receiving, if you're a family, it's becoming probably one of the top reasons for deaths in Gaza. 30%, or probably a little more, have been of the total death have taken place around these sites. The other reason is that because there's nothing humanitarian about this. This is a group of security operators working in very vague. The business itself has a very vague nature. They're working in vague circumstances. We don't know who's funding them, and of course, the other reason is that you have reduced the capacity. You have reduced the number of food distribution points from 400 to only 4. That is 1% of what the people in Gaza need. So yes, it's the entire mission is fraught with danger. The entire mission of getting hold of a bag of bread or a bag of flour could now mean the actual death of people trying to fend off starvation for their families.
And despite the number of people who have been killed trying to get aid, it's not something that's going to stop anytime soon. It's not going to stop them from trying, is it? Because when people are that desperate and they want to get food for their children, they are going to go through this process. They're going to potentially risk their lives in order to get themselves and their children fed, aren't they?
Of course, and of course, that's desperation. But if you look at the recent history of that desperation, of the recent history of that starvation, you see that Israel has actually sent people all the way to the brink of famine, to the brink of death, to the brink of starvation. They are starving, and now it has come in with this dangerous scheme. Of course, in the midst of that desperation, and the natural, of course, reaction is going to be people trying to get hold of whatever they can get hold of. And the results, we see that. It's chaos. People have to walk miles and miles. And at the same time, why we say it's a dangerous distraction for two reasons. One is that it's pretending to be what it is really not. And that is staving off an organization to stave off starvation, and that's not happening, of course. The other reason is that this distraction is actually taking away from the efforts to provide not just food, but also other shelter items, which no one talks about, by the way. No one talks about the need for tents in the scorching heat, or the need for clean water. Today we have learned that baby formula is running out. So yes, the entire thing has been meant to undermine the existing and functioning, I would say, ways to provide aid in Gaza by thousands and thousands of aid workers who literally put their lives on the line in order to provide aid in the safest manner that they could.
And when organizations like yours, like the Norwegian Refugee Council, are unable to get in to give that much needed aid, how frustrating is it for you and your staff? What is there left to do at this point that you can still do?
My colleagues are still working. We are still providing some clean water for people, for thousands of people, in fact, every single day. clean drinking water. But like you say, it's barely scratching the surface, given the current circumstances. We have hundreds worth of truck loads waiting across the border. We have 3,000 or over 3,000 tents waiting to come across. We are providing some support, education for children. We are providing some vouchers for people to go and get some summer clothes for their families, because they keep getting displaced with nothing on them or with them. And at the same time, we're providing some clean water, but we have the capacity to do much more, not just us as Norwegian Refugee Council, but also as an entire humanitarian organization. But what's happening is that being stifled here, the entire system is being stifled, and the blocking of so much aid is happening because Israel now has the free hand, has the free reign to do what it wants, while pretending that it's actually helping people by providing them with a portion that doesn't last a couple of days.
Yeah, it is an increasingly desperate situation there, and we appreciate you talking to us about it. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you.